am a couple months shy of posting to Instagram every single day for a year. It's taught me a lot, and it's given me a lot to think about. My photography has come such a long way in the last year, and I attribute almost all of that to posting to Instagram every day. And I know when I say that, it sounds kind of stupid, but hear me out. Instagram is a platform that I think most photographers have sort of given up on at this point, and it's hard to blame anybody that has this attitude because it is not a photo app anymore.
What?
Or easy to grow on.
What?
Or stand out.
What?
Or have fun on.
What?
I get it. That's why new apps like Photo are really compelling to me, but I worry that apps that only really appeal to photographers are way too niche to have any real impact culturally with everybody that is not a photographer. I think if we step back and look at the bigger picture of what we're trying to accomplish with photography, it starts to make a little more sense to post something somewhere every single day, even if that's not to Instagram, which again, I wouldn't blame you if that's how you felt. My entire goal as a photographer is to just get better, and there is no way to get better than by doing something every single day. The first few weeks of posting a photograph to Instagram every single day were really stressful because I was really struggling to find photographs of mine that I was okay sharing to the public. For the first 6 months that I was really taking photography seriously, I had been sort of hoarding all of these images that I had, but what I figured out pretty quickly when I started paying attention to everyone else's Instagram was that no one else cares what anyone else is doing on Instagram at all. Everybody's so wrapped up in what they're doing on Instagram that pretty much nobody pays you any mind, especially when you're first starting. And to be even more honest and more bleak and more jaded, I think a whole lot of people in the photography community on Instagram only like people's photos just so that those people will like their photos in return.
You're a wise man, my friend.
And that was really disheartening for me at first until I really started to think about it. Like, hey, I can post anything and no one's gonna care. So that's what I started doing. Now, that doesn't mean that I was putting up bad photos, although in retrospect, some of them probably are not the greatest photos ever, just because I've had almost a year of growth as a photographer since I posted them. But that's the goal, is to get better. You still have to have a really good filter of what you're putting onto Instagram, because that grid, whether you like it or not, is a direct reflection of how people are going to view your work. So I'm not saying post shitty photos. I'm saying post photos that are good, and not every photo that you post has to be great. In fact, every photo you post can't be great. A banger photo isn't a banger photo if every photo is a banger photo. That made sense, right? One of the biggest things that posting every single day has taught me is that creativity ebbs and flows. It is not a constant. Just because you feel like you're killing it right now doesn't mean you're gonna feel that way tomorrow. Just because you feel like you're never gonna take a good photo again doesn't mean that that's the truth. Realizing this was really eye-opening to me because I was kind of subconsciously walking around thinking I'm a creative person. I have creativity to pull from whenever I want to, when in reality, it kind of ebbs and flows, at least for me. But I can up the odds of it flowing by doing it every single day, even when I don't want to. It's just a way to give yourself some creative accountability and keep you making something every single day. Even if the thing you make that day isn't that good, at least you made something, and you will learn why it wasn't good faster than if you were only doing it a couple days a week. And putting up one photo every single day did exactly that for me. Once I got through the hurdles of finding work every day that I was okay sharing and realizing how I feel about my work one day is not a direct reflection of how I'm going to feel about my work forever, all I did was sort of work it into my routine so that I could keep it going as long as I possibly could. And all of that leads me up to this video, because I would not be posting YouTube videos again if it were not for me posting to Instagram every single day. Posting every day sort of gave me some perspective on my work. It made me realize that posting something for the world to see is not life or death. Chances are, if you're new to posting, nobody's really gonna see it anyway. So you need to just post. It doesn't need to be the best thing the world has ever seen. It just needs to be something that you like. I don't know, as an artist, I kind of feel like for a long time I was kind of walking around subconsciously thinking that everything I put into the world needs to be just tormented over, and it needs to be meaningful and powerful and whatever other adjective you want to put onto it. I had all of these grand ambitions, but none of the work I was making was ever living up to any of that. So I would get discouraged and overwhelmed. Honestly, it wasn't until I started putting in the work every single day for months until I started to see the results that I was really looking for. Because it's really simple. The more you do it, the better you're gonna get. And this is especially important when you're in the learning stages of photography. Problem solving is such a huge part of photography, especially when you first start. And if you're not out in the world trying to solve the problem of why you're not getting the type of photo you want, you're never gonna just magically know how to make that happen. It just doesn't work that way. It takes time and experience to figure these things out. And the more time you put into learning all of this stuff, the quicker you can move on to the really fun part of photography, which is the artistic side of photography. More than anything, I think posting to Instagram just sort of demystified the creative process a little bit for me, because every day I start my day with a cup of coffee and I edit that day's photos, which forces me to make something at the start of every single day. And before I'm even fully awake, I've made something and put it into the world. And then I go about my day, and over time that led to me not really caring how they were doing on Instagram. You do need to care a little bit about how it's being perceived, but generally speaking, I think it's impossible to not care at all about how your work does online. But the more I posted, the less I started worrying about that. But agonizing over every single like and view and follower and subscriber or whatever it is something I think every creator goes through. If you can put in the effort from the very beginning to focus on the process and not the outcome, you'll be in a much healthier place as a creator long term. In order to get to that place, you have to build up a tolerance to how other people perceive you and your art. And that's something that takes years to develop. But if you post every single day, you're going to develop that mentality faster. Your confidence is going to come and go during this process. But if you keep doing it, even when your brain is telling you that it's not worth it, you keep posting every single day, even when no one is liking your photos, you'll start to value the process over the fleeting validation you get from social media more. And that will make you a better photographer regardless of where your images end up. So that's why I post to Instagram every single day. It's not about growing on that specific platform. It is about growing as an artist. Now, if your brain doesn't work the same way mine does, this may not work for you the same way it did for me, but posting every single day to Instagram literally changed how I think about the creative process as a whole, and it made me a better photographer. So if you like this, make sure you hit the like button. If you really liked it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I got a lot more content like this on the channel. Let me know what your relationship with Instagram is right now, because I know a lot of photographers are moving on to other places. This video was really more about working every single day at your craft and getting better at it. Whether you post those images or not, working on images every single day is going to make you better, period. Full stop. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Mike the Finder out. See ya.